and I am the treasurer of the San Bernardo Park Association, uh, and I will be your host for this evening's 2025 Virtual Political Forum. For those attending this community meeting for the first time, I would like to state that our boundaries are from our San Bernardo Association. They extend from the east side of Greenfield at James Cousin to Strathmore, continue south to 7 Mile, and then continue from 7 Mile west to Greenfield. Our slogan is Neighbors Working Together. Neighbors Working Together is a short, memorable phrase that we use to capture the essence of our association. It succinctly conveys the idea of community collaboration and unity, making it an effective way for us to communicate the importance of our neighbors working together and to improve our shared environment. It serves as a kind of a rallying point to inspire and engage others in the community. If you'd like to join us, please, and if you don't know how to do that, the contact information is on this slide. So feel free to contact to take that information. Slide 2. Within the boundaries, there are over 700 homes along and several churches, organizations, businesses that greatly appreciate the support of our residents, particularly in the current environment situation that they find themselves with the pending trade embargo and construction along the James Cousin Freeway. Please scan the QR code on the second slide that's before you now for a list of the organizations that continue to support us on a regular basis. And please try to continue to support them during this environment. Next slide, please. Ladies and gentlemen, and esteemed members of our association and invited guests, we're thrilled to welcome and introduce the candidates for the Detroit Council participating in our 2025 Virtual Political Forum and Community Meeting. Joining us today, with a few exceptions, will be candidate Angela Whitfield-Calloway is our dedicated city council for District 2, seeking re-election. We will also have James Harris, who will bring his vision and energy as a candidate for the Detroit City Council at large. Roy McCalister, a committed Detroit Council, former Detroit Council person of District 2, will also be running. Miss Valerie Parker was scheduled, but she could not attend. She had an incident that took care of it, and unfortunately, she will not be here. We wish her well. Helena Scott, an enthusiastic candidate for City Council, running for District 2. She is eager to discuss her plans for our neighborhood. We thank each of you for your willingness to participate in this forum and come here and introduce yourselves and tell us how you plan to enhance our community here in Detroit. Your participation reflects the commitment to our city, and we look forward to an engaging discussion. The format for this engagement as such, each candidate will be allotted 1 minute for opening remarks, followed by question session for each candidate. The moderator will ask each of you in a series of questions in rotation. You have 90 seconds to respond to each question. After the question session, each candidate will be allotted 1 minute for closing remarks. You will be called on in reverse order of the opening remarks. Your time is very important. It will be moderated by the timekeeper. And at the end, when you hear the buzzer at the end, there will be a slight buzzer. And if not, I will intervene and say time. We would appreciate it if you would stop talking at that time. And if you continue to talking, let's say for an additional 5 or 7 seconds, you will be automatically muted. Next slide, please. I have a few other things to go over for you to take care of some San Bernardo business before I turn the meeting over. Um, as the treasurer, I would be remiss if I didn't take this opportunity and personally thank all the residents, businesses, and churches that have paid their membership fees 2025 and 2025, and to continue to urge those who to continue to pay and continue to support us. Remember, membership fees are due at the beginning of each year. Following the instruction on the slide above, you can pay your dues either by check, cash app, or by money order. I want to highlight the weekend events that are coming up. If you can move to that slide. This will be following on Saturday, June 21st, 2025, at the Detroit Coffee Lounge. There will be a Black Men's Matter event. The purpose of this event is to encourage Black men to come together and to talk and express themselves with no judgment, to bring back brotherhood. Sunday, at the Detroit Coffee Club. Excuse me, that time for the Saturday meeting will be 12 to 1 p.m. Sunday, June 22nd, between 1 and 2, Books and Beans Block Club will gather to read and discuss the book Pray for Me by Kenya Moss Dime. We encourage you to support the Detroit Coffee House and other businesses and churches presented in this in our business and church organizational directory. To access the directory, scan the QR code that you saw before. And if not, if you don't have that, please contact someone from our office or email us, and we will forward you that information. Another point of view, which will be illustrated on the other slide, is to inform you that we have a neighborhood police officer assigned to our area, and that officer is Officer Jones. Officer Jones is available by either email. His email is jones911@detroitmi.gov for non-emergency and reoccurring quality of life issues. Non-emergency and reoccurring quality of life issues only. You can call the neighborhood police officer or contact them and leave a message for them 24/7. So in any event, if no one answers the phone, you can certainly leave a message. Someone will get back with you. Young Men's in Motion and the Mathis Center offer free food giveaways. And they begin this, they offer these giveaways. They started offering that in February and will continue to offer them until December. Their address is at the Mathis Center on Greenfield. That's 1900 300 Greenfield. And it's on a first come, first served basis. Now, I'd like to just state that I have a few other comments that I would like to make about excuse me, I had one other announcement, but I can't seem to find that one in here. But if I missed any of those, please let me know. But I think most of those here appear on the slide. Now, without any further delay, I'd like to welcome in all the candidates, and I will turn. And I'd like to thank you ahead for showing up, and I will turn the meeting over to Maia. Maia will be a moderator for it. Maia is a very dynamic CEO of Zealot Bakeries and a passionate community organizer. She is known for her commitment to uplifting Detroit local cultural entrepreneurships. She's a co-founder of Zealot Bakeries, which was founded in 2015 with her sister Helena. Maia has fostered a brand that reflects her shared vision of delicious quality baked goods with catalyzing community engagement. As a moderator for our 25 forum, Maia brings her extensive knowledge and experience, making her a valuable voice for, for meaningful discussions. Follow her journey on her Instagram, Facebook, and please support her in her endeavors with Zella Bakery. So without any further ado, Maya, please unmute yourself, and I turn the meeting over to you. Maya, do you have to mute one of the computers on your end?
Hi, can you hear me now?
Yes, we can.
Okay, thank you.
I was just going on. Let me make sure.
There's no echo, right? Are we good now? Yeah. All right. Can you all hear me okay? One last check.
Yes, we can.
All right, thank you. Good evening again, and welcome to tonight's forum. My name is Maya Anthony. I am a community organizer, and I've always been committed to uplifting the voices of Michiganders about the importance of voting and voting in favor of ourselves and our causes, preserving our environment and food infrastructures, addressing racial inequalities, inequities, and much more that is essential to our many voices that too often go unheard. In addition to this work, as Mr. Alvin said, I'm an entrepreneur. I'm an advocate for health and wellness. I serve other roles throughout the state, one of which is a proud member of the San Bernardo Park Association, as this is my community. Tonight's conversation is streaming online, but also from the fabulous Detroit Coffee Lodge right here on James Cousin and Lauder Street. Thank you so much, Ms. Tika, for having us. I would also like to thank Ms. Bridget Bowman, our association president, for once again inviting me to moderate tonight's event. We encourage you all to vote, whether it is via absentee, whether it is early voting via polling sites throughout Metro Detroit, at a drop box near you, or at the polls on election day. Our primary election is August 5th. Our general election is November 4th. And you can register to vote in person at any time up to 8 p.m. on either election day. We need you, and we thank you for taking a moment to be here tonight to hear from our District 2 and at large, meaning citywide, Detroit as a whole, city council candidates. Our candidates who are running have been all called. However, all of them have not been able to make it. But for the candidates who are present, thank you. Each one will be invited to give their opening remarks of no more than 1 minute each. They will be timed by our virtual assistants and will be cut off if they go over. After opening remarks, there will be question session for our candidates, which will consist of 90-second responses per candidate. We will rotate, so each one will be allowed to answer. But again, this is going to be timed and there is no rebuttal. But if they do decide to rebuttal under another question that I've asked, that's okay. But they still will only have 90 seconds total to rebuttal and also answer that same question. Let's begin. Candidate and current District 2 Councilwoman Angela Whitfield-Calloway, you have 1 minute for your opening statement. You may begin.
Thank you so much. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, thank you so much, Ms. Anthony, and to everyone who's on the call, San Bernardo Park Association members and residents. I am Angela Whitfield-Calloway, and I'm asking for your vote to return me to office. You trusted me in 2021, and I have served you diligently. I told you I would not be a rubber stamp. I've not done that in my first 20 days on the council. I asked for a nationwide search for corporation counsel to prove to you that I wasn't afraid to make tough decisions. I've been your voice. I've made those tough decisions since day one. I stand up for you. I have never hidden behind my votes. I can explain my votes. I stand for my votes. And sometimes they're not always popular votes. But when I make a vote, I've done the research and they are made on the in your best interest. So I'm asking you as to reelect me. I have received the endorsement of the 12th congressional district, the 13th congressional district, the Black slate, the East Side slate. I have received the support of the Fannie Lou Hamer PAC, and the list goes on. I received the endorsement from the UAW, the SEIU, and the IBEW, Local 58. And if you go down the app.
Thank you, Councilwoman. Next, we will hear from candidate James Harris. Mr. Harris, you have 1 minute for your opening statement.
Thank you, Ms. Anthony. Thank you, everybody on the call, Ms. Ballman, Mr. Austin, and San Bernardo community. This started with me in elementary school in my career day. A council member came to my classroom, and the way they commanded the room and told us about the legislative branch, which is the city council, it made me curious. But at that moment, they made all of us fifth graders feel like we go to the polls and vote right then. They related to us, and it made us feel like we were part of that. The key word is relationships. I want to keep building relationships like I've been doing the last 28 years. I'm currently a chief of the City of Detroit Fire Department over the Community Relations Division. I like to feel like I prevented fires throughout this city, not just in your neighborhood, your community in District 2, but Districts 1 through 7. And I just want to be a better part of the change that's coming. Detroit's going in the right direction, but I want to help it get even better. I'm a true Detroiter. I love Detroit. Just remember me on August 5th. James Harris, City Council at Large.
All right, thank you, candidate Harris. We will now hear an opening statement from candidate Roy McCalister Jr.
Thank you so very much. I don't know what's going on with my video here, but I am Roy McCalister Jr. First and foremost, I want to give honor to God who's ahead of my life, and I want to thank San Bernardo Park Association for this outstanding candidate forum. Again, I am Roy McCalister Jr. running for Detroit City Council, meaning to return back to assist you, work for you, and give service to you for what we were meaning to do prior to the COVID coming in. There was a lot of things that we came. I was always there for you whenever you called. I worked for you, and I look forward to coming back. I'm a person that believe in service. This came about me when the Urban League came to the city of Detroit, and I happened to meet a number of the.
Thank you, candidate McCalister. And last but not least, we will hear from candidate Helena Scott.
Hello, everybody, and thank you, San Bernardo, for having me tonight. I'm State Representative Helena Scott, and I'm running for Detroit City Council District 2 because I want to bring the fight home to the district I love. I believe it's time we had leadership that fights with the people and for the people. Our district is full of potential, but too many of our communities are still struggling. But I really feel that we can do better together. I'm committed to tackling crime head-on, supporting smart, community-based public safety solutions that make our streets safer without over-policing, and for programs that give our young people something to say yes to. We need more affordable housing, homes people can actually pass down to their own family members. We must also bring down those crushing property taxes that City Council has unfortunately not been able to do, that force seniors and working families out of the homes they've built. I've grown up in this district and lived in this district all my life. I've been a leader in the State House the last 5 years, serving House District 8. I want to do that home in District 2, in the community that I love. So many people are calling for change, and I really feel that I'm the change that District 2 needs, and I'm ready to come
That's
home
time.
and fight. Thank you.
Thank you so much, candidate Scott. I'd like to open the floor for our first round of questions. What makes each of you the most qualified over your opponents? And again, the floor is open, so you may come in and answer as you all please. What makes each of you the most qualified over your opponent?
Well, this is State Representative Helena Scott. You know, I have been a leader in the State House the last 5 years. I feel that I am the only lawmaker that has actually passed laws for the state of Michigan. I've built relationships in Lansing with stakeholders that I want to bring home, not only to really benefit Detroit and Detroit City Council. I have relationships on the federal level, on the state level, and also the city level. And I feel that the leadership that I possess and I've demonstrated, and I brought home over $15 million to the district within the last 2 years, not to mention all the millions that I brought down since I've been in the state house. And I want to continue to have that leadership on city council because I do believe that they need leadership. The district is calling for it. So many people want change and have asked me to run, and that's why I'm stepping up to run. And I feel that I can be the leader that District 2 needs.
Thank you. The floor remains open.
Okay, thank you. This is Councilmember Calloway. And there were 6 of us who came into office in 2022. And of the 6, I have passed the largest number of new ordinances that I actually helped to write. E-scooter regulations. When I came into office, there were multiple e-scooter companies coming in from all over the country, dumping their e-scooters in our city. They were sprawled all over the place, and we found some even in the Detroit River. I have them regulated now. When you go into the stores and restaurants, you were told that your money was not good enough. I stopped that. That's why we have the cashless ban. So when you take your cash into a restaurant or a store, they have to accept your cash. That's called the cashless ban ordinance. Then human trafficking. That's been a problem in our city for a number of years. I came and I started the Human Trafficking Task Force and just recently got a law passed that requires every hotel and motel in the city of Detroit to have a 9x7 placard posted with a 1-800 number and a 1313 number, just in case you see something, you see someone who's in trouble, you see someone who's being coerced or held against their will, you'll call that number. Next of all, I sponsored the pet shop ordinance. There are no pet shops in Detroit, and we won't have any. We stopped it right there because Berkeley has it, and Berkeley didn't want it. It's there on Woodward. We don't have it in Detroit. We do not want animals that are bred in inhumane conditions being sold in pet shops in Detroit. That's an ordinance that I got passed unanimously. Every ordinance I've ever sponsored has been passed unanimously. The last one, a child came before the city council. He was crying. He was 11 years old, student at DPSCD, about marijuana and vaping billboards. Well, this city council.
Thank you. The floor remains open for our next answer.
I think I bring something fresh, something new, something different, something dynamic to the council. I'm not a career politician. I'm actually not a politician at all. I'm a servant. I'm a public servant. And I don't do it for the money. I don't do it for the glory. I don't do it for the likes on Instagram. I do it from the heart. I've been doing it since I was a safety patrol in DPSCD. Making quick decisions in life or death situations and being able to respond and make decisions in what some people may call a high pressure situation. That's what I bring to the table. I bring extraordinary leadership and relationship ability, being able to work with anybody in any condition. I think that's a strong suit. And I have balance with a capital B. I just got my master's degree in leadership. I have my bachelor's in criminal justice administration. So I know a little bit about the law enforcement side. I'm a lifelong Detroiter. And I think I bring all those tools to the table.
Thank you so much, Candidate Harris. And we have one more answer. Did we get everyone to answer?
Well, we have Mr. McCalister.
Candidate McCalister, I think we're looking for your answer. I don't know if you're muted. All right, well, we'll move on.
Oh, no, excuse me. Candidate McCalister says he's having difficulty coming on the online. Do we have him muted? Is he in the chat room right now?
Yes, and I also would, if we could request to be able to see our candidates, because with the screen share, we are unable to look at our candidates and their answers. So are we able to have a view that might not be a screen share. Would you all like to see the candidate?
Yeah, can you remove the screen share? Okay, cool. Okay, so,
Thank you.
McCalister's having difficulty. I don't know if he's still there or not.
Okay, I am here. I was
All right.
it was saying I was disabled by the host. I'm here, but still for whatever reason, my video is not coming through. So I am
Okay,
here. Okay,
we're able to hear you all right. Mhm.
okay. Can you hear me?
Yes,
Okay, I'll just go in and answer the question. The reason why I'm the best candidate is because I bring the experience. I bring the fact that I ran the 5 northern provinces of Iraq, and that's about building a country. That's about bringing people together from all.
well, we can give him a few extra seconds since he started a little bit late.
Mr. McCalister, you're muted.
Something must be going on his computer side, because he's a co-host and everything. He keeps coming in and out. I'm not sure what's going on.
I'm sure it's, we're virtual, it's Wi-Fi, so. Can we move on to the next question and he can kind of fill us in when he is able to go back online? We are under some time constraint. So let's move on. We will come back to candidate McCalister. My next question is still, there's an open floor remaining. If elected, what will be your top priority during your first 90 days in office? And how do you plan to gain support from fellow council members and the community to address it?
Okay, I'll take that. Doesn't matter what order, we can just chime in.
The floor is open, yes.
Okay, this is Detroit City Councilwoman Angela Whitfield-Calloway. And I'm going to continue to build on the work that I have already started for the last 4 years. One thing that I'm working on that I was about to mention is the billboards, the weed and vaping billboards that you see all over the place. My law and all of the laws that I've passed have been supported by my colleagues unanimously. So the weed and vaping billboard is in effect. You won't see them near any schools, any library, any church, or anywhere that children and families congregate. Another ordinance that I'm working on right now is the Citizens Blight Patrol. We have a huge blight problem in our city. I received 5 pictures this morning at 6 a.m. on my phone from a 92-year-old who lives in District 2, crying out, wanting blight addressed in his neighborhood. He took all these pictures and I sent them to the administration. So that's what I'm going to continue to do. My first 30 days in office in 2022, and I'm going to continue to do it when I'm returned in office in January of 2026, is to address blight. I was out there cleaning up the freeways and the service drives, and now the state has entered a contract with the city of Detroit. They were inspired by my work.
Thank you, candidate. The floor remains open for our other candidates' answers.
So what I intend to work on, this is State Representative Helena Scott. We do have a problem with blight in the community, and luckily I passed a law in the state of Michigan to crack down on offenders of blight. So it's Public Act 6, offers criminal penalties and fines for illegal dumping. Also, I want to focus on public safety. Want to make sure that our neighborhoods are clean and safe. Want to also make sure that we have economic growth and development. We have a large business community in District 2, and they really need resources and development. I'm actually holding an MEDC community resource fair for the businesses on Livernois and also on 6 Mile on Monday. So really want to focus on economic growth and business growth and development. Want to make sure that we handle blight, making sure that we make our neighborhoods safe and clean, and also neighborhood development. Housing is an issue in our district. We want to make sure that we hold people that are not maintaining the houses that they buy, that they actually pay the price, and making sure that they keep those properties.
Thank you so much. The floor remains open. We have 2 more answers.
Education, first of all, and I'm not just talking about standing in a classroom, talking to the children. I'm talking about educating. The city council has the power to allocate funds for skilled trades, but you can't just allocate funds for skilled trades and say, voila, here's skilled trades. You have to go talk to the young people and tell them this is how skilled trades can affect you. This is how skilled trades can affect your life, your parents' life, your legacy, your kids, your children, your nieces, your nephews. Show them the why, show them the how, show them how these electrical systems are built. Show them about, teach them about STEM, teach them about tech, like Black Tech Saturdays. We're going to build partnerships. That's what I'll do as soon as I get in. And first and foremost, I'm going to build a strong relationship with the sitting council so we can work together. I'm a career athlete. It's team, team, team. So we're going to build a strong relationship, and we're going to work with whoever the mayor is at the time. We're going to work together. So that's the first step in a better Detroit.
All right, thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Oh, excuse me. I'm just gonna say, candidate McCalister said he's having difficulties with his computer. He's gonna try to chime in using the phone. So do we have him on the listing to let him in using his phone? Kim?
Yeah, I'll check. I haven't seen him come in yet.
Okay, because I suggest he use his phone. So if he's still having difficulty, we just have to keep moving on and have him answer the question to make up. Okay. I'm not here, everybody. So I'm just here in case people come in. Okay, go ahead.
We appreciate you keeping us informed. That is our Black Club president, Ms. Bridget. We can move on if we are not seeing candidate McCalister come in. We can move on to our third question. This is, speaking about business owners. Myself, I am a business owner. I live in District 2. I would like to kind of piggyback on that and ask, I see Mr. McCalister coming in, so I'm hoping that he hears this question. It's a very important question, and it's very detailed, so I would like everybody to kind of lean in, and it's a lot to this, and it's important. It's an important question for me as well. This comes directly from a District 2 business owner. And this is what they say. As a local business owner in District 2, I've noticed a recurring tension between new businesses and nearby residents, especially around issues like parking, increased traffic. And I know several business owners who've experienced strained relationships with neighbors who, in my opinion, should be our strongest allies. It seems that after years of dealing with vacancy and abandonment, some residents have grown accustomed to quiet streets and empty buildings. So when a commercial corridor starts to come back to life, it feels disruptive rather than hopeful. Even though our goal is economic revitalization that benefits everyone. Their question is, what will you do as a council member to help bridge the gap between longtime residents and new or growing businesses, particularly when it comes to infrastructures like parking, traffic flow, and neighborhood expectations? And how can the city modernize and support vibrant, walkable business corridors in a way that allows businesses to thrive without alienating the communities they serve? All right, so that is open. And Councilwoman, we can't hear you, so you have to unmute. Because I saw you start, you're still muted.
Can you hear me now?
Now we can,
Okay,
thank you.
okay. When I return to office in January of 2026, I'll continue to do what I've always done. If you go on Livernois, there was a huge problem with parking, and we made sure that Lot B, which is owned by New Prospect Missionary Baptist Church, is open to the public for parking. That's called Parking Lot B, right on the corner of Pembroke and Livernois. That happened in my first year in office because there was a problem on the Avenue of Fashion with parking. And right now, we still don't have one parking space for handicap parking. I'm working on that as well. When they narrowed the streets and widened the sidewalks, it became even more so of an issue. That happened before I joined the council. Right now, if you go up and down Livernois, you'll see my signs in almost 90% of the businesses because they support all the work that I've done and I'll continue to do. We're going to have to continue to work with the neighbors and the businesses and continue to establish a partnership, an understanding, but parking will probably continue to be an issue, which is not a bad thing because we like the traffic that is coming to 6 Mile, 7 Mile, 8 Mile, and Livernois, but parking will probably always be an issue now that we're going to even have another apartment building coming, and that's going to also cause some more parking issues.
This is Roy
Okay.
McCalister Jr. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can. Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much. All right, I'm gonna try to get in with this question here is the fact that I had the business roundtable. And what that did was that brought businesses, not only just Livernois, but throughout the city of District 2. And we worked together to make sure that new businesses had the experience of the older business. We enhanced new older businesses by reaching out for grants, different resources, and things of that nature. And one of the issues that we looked at was when I came in, I spoke to them about having a subsequent income. Shortly thereafter, the street came in. So we worked so that we can make sure that people could have their businesses to be viable. And it's something that we worked with the executive office to make sure that our businesses are viable. It also combines with the community. Community and businesses needs to be working together to ensure that both are thriving. So these are the things that I look forward to continuing to do when I turn back to City Council.
Thank you, candidate counselor.
This
Yes.
is This is Representative Helena Scott. So our community conversations, I will definitely be working with the community manager, Kim Tandy in District 2, holding community conversations. It's about communication. So you're right. We need to have more spaces of businesses that are occupying these vacant storefronts in the strip malls. We definitely need to make sure that we're working in tandem with the city District 2, Kim Tandy, and also the constituents, and really having a conversation. We need to bring businesses to the District 2. That's how the community thrives and survives and grows and develops. Economic development, in some cases, has been thwarted in District 2, from what I understand when I listen to constituents about their complaints. So yes, parking is an issue as well. The current leadership may have done some parking situations, but there are still many complaints that are happening. And what I believe I'm going to be doing is really having those conversations, talking it through, and letting them know that their concerns are addressed by the residents.
Thank you.
Back to the balance issue, there has to be some kind of balance. I would love to go to Zella's Bakery, but we don't need Astoria Bakery next door to Zella's Bakery and then have another bakery and another bakery in the same block in the same district. Let's spread the wealth. Let's spread them out throughout the neighborhoods, because somebody mentioned earlier about walkable businesses. That's how we grew up. You want to be able to go out of your house. First of all, you want to work in Detroit. You want to come home. You want to be able to play in Detroit with your children, walk to the park. While you're on the way walking to the park, if you want to do some shopping, you should be able to walk there without worrying about parking, without worrying about a parking meter, without worrying about getting a ticket, without worrying about getting towed. So that starts with us going to the businesses, not doing research, actually patronizing the businesses ourselves as council members, not when it's 4 years from now when we're on the ballot. Day to day, go in there. Know your audience. That's the first rule in public speaking. Know your audience. That's the first rule in businesses. Know your audience. Know your neighborhood. Know what they want.
Thank you. I know that I believe candidate McCalister has to leave a little early this evening, so I want to kind of shift to a very important question from someone in our audience right here at the Coffee Lodge. I think the best thing to do is just to have them come over here so that you can see them and they can ask you their question.
Councilman McCalister actually has, he's really having computer problems. He's he's dropped off again, unfortunately. I don't know what's going
That
on with
is
his computer.
unfortunate. Yeah, right. So this is one of our District 2 residents watching from right here at the coffee lounge, and the floor still remains open for our candidates.
Hello, candidates. I, again, am a District 2 resident. I have a question about, every year we have about 4,000 people who are returning home to Detroit from incarceration and are face challenges with employment, are often denied housing because they have a felony. We have people coming home from the Michigan Department of Corrections, as well as the federal system, as well as various county jails around Wayne, Oakland, Macomb, Washtenaw County. So my question is to you for Councilwoman Calloway, what have you done and what will you continue to do? But also for the candidates, what role does the city council play in helping to remove some of these barriers that people face? Because if somebody is desperate because they can't find a job because businesses continue to reject them, you know, people don't rob themselves. People don't break into their own homes. And so the question is, what role can the city council play, and what would you do as the District 2 council person to help remove some of these barriers? Now I'll go back to my seat.
Thank you. The floor is open. Candidate Calloway, you're muted.
Can you hear me?
Yep.
Okay, that was an excellent question. We have what we call the Project Clean Slate that I absolutely support, and I've also participated in to assist those who are returning from being incarcerated. It is illegal to, on rental applications, to even inquire about someone's history of being incarcerated. And I will always support those who are returning to our community. We have small business summits. If they are interested in starting a business, we help them with that support. I've been doing that since 2022 with 2 of my colleagues. We help them find employment. I just helped to start the home inspection program at Wayne County Community College with the chancellor, Curtis Ivory. That program started in May. We have 22 students in that program. That will be an excellent starting point for someone returning from being incarcerated. I'll always support anyone who's returning from being incarcerated to overcome any and every obstacle that they face unnecessarily because of whatever their history is. So no, I will continue to support Project Clean Slate. I participate in it every month. I also sponsor them with others of my colleagues, and will also make sure that they have career opportunity and employment opportunities. We will never, ever, as a city, discriminate against anyone who's returning from being incarcerated. And again, I'll continue to do my.
Thank you so much. The floor remains open.
As a God-fearing person, I feel everybody deserves a second chance, actually a third chance. I don't judge. I'm sure everybody on this panel, including myself, starting with James Harris, has made a mistake, and I'll probably make a mistake later on today and tomorrow. Ironically, back to the relationship piece. One of my buddies works for Team Wellness, and a young lady came up to me and said, "Hey, my brother wants to be a firefighter." I said, "Okay, what's his age? What does he want to do?" Because we have an age thing, 18 to 60. He said the only problem he has is felony. He did something way back when he was 17, but he's been a hardworking young man, been on the straight and narrow ever since. So I said, "Is it expunged?" He said, "No." We got it expunged. It took us about 3 months, got it expunged. So he's ready. Now he's getting in shape. He's studying. He's getting ready to jump on the fire department ASAP, Lord willing. But I need to do extensive research to see what we can do as a body, as a legislative branch, to make it easier and make it easier for anybody who's eager to work. We're a blue collar city. We roll our sleeves up and work. So it doesn't matter what your past is. It all matters about today and your future.
So as a
I'm Roy
member,
McCalister.
oh, go ahead, Roy.
Thank you so much. I'm Roy McCalister Jr. And if you know that I had the honorees, and I used to call the Michigan 13, working with Wayne County clerk working with Dr. Ivory, several others to assist those individuals as far as getting back into the social civilian sector for their lives. You're talking about people that was incarcerated from 1 year to 52 years. Now you look at someone that has been incarcerated for that long, and it is about assisting them. I also assisting them with getting their money. I have individuals that we have received from $5 million to $8 million thus far to assist them. So it is about working with them and making sure that they are back incorporated back into society so that they will understand that there is an apology for that. They have served their time, and now let's move forward and assist them. So those are things that I have work to do.
So this is Representative Scott. We have, as an executive board member of the Detroit Caucus, we've held expungement fairs in the city of Detroit to make sure that these returning citizens get expunged for the things that need to be expunged. We also offer job opportunities as far as connecting with certain businesses to make sure that they can be hired, to make sure that they have clothes for interviews, to making sure that they find housing. So I would continue to do that as a member of Detroit City Council. The same work that I've been doing on the state level, I'll definitely continue to do on the city level.
Thank you. I want to follow up with my own question. Will you all have a designated department, or will you have, you know, a team of a couple to actually be hands-on with working with returning citizens who are actually a returning citizen themselves? Because the only way you can really connect is, you know, if they see you and they see themselves in you.
Great question.
Yeah, absolutely. We, as Detroit Caucus members, we interface when we do those fairs, and we actually build relationships. We've gone into the jails also. So yeah, we will definitely I will have that as a part of my team to make sure that we have that connection with people that are returning to civilian life. Yes.
Yes, the city of Detroit has a Project Sling Clean Slate program that I make sure is funded every single year at the appropriate level. I also participate as a lawyer in those Clean Slate programs. I'm very much involved. And so I also started the Small Business Minority Summit, where they are encouraged to come to Wayne County Community College, and they get support. We teach them how to go into Oracle and apply for contracts and to get into Oracle as a contractor. So I'll continue to do that work, and I'll continue to make sure it's funded at the level that it deserves to be funded at, because no one should be turned away from a job, employment, a career opportunity, or housing because of something they've done in their past. And as Mr. Harris indicated earlier, everyone deserves a first, a second, and a third chance, endless chances to improve their lives and to have a better future. So yes, I'll continue to make sure that Project Clean Slate is appropriately funded.
Yes, no doubt. That is something that I have always continued, because once a person pays their dues, however, allow them that second chance, allow them to get back into the mainstream of things, allow them to have a quality of life, get back with their families. So that is something that is being a passion about our citizens, and they have returned as citizens. So that is something that I definitely will look into and continue to be a part of, because returning citizens, regardless, is our citizens that needs to have care and passion, and know that understanding that people are accepting of them. So help them to get back into this mainstream of things.
I also would like to add, the majority of this funding comes from the state. So all of those things that come locally, we voted on and passed out of the state house. So local government would not be able to operate unless we voted on those dollars come down federally to the state level. And I've done that for 5 years in the state house. And we'll continue to help and do that on the city level as well.
Okay. Thank you. This next question is actually from one of our SBPA board members. How will you all promote respect and cooperation among residents, as For example, following traffic laws, reducing litter and respecting property, and improve how services respond to the community, including bringing back in-person customer service. Also, what will you do to ensure better coordination between city departments and outside agencies such as DTE and Wayne County, and to make sure resident concerns are actually resolved and not just followed up with a survey?
Yeah. Okay, I'll take it. I don't do a lot of surveys. I'm actually working with my residents one-on-one, actually call DTE on their behalf to address their concerns. And so there are not a lot of surveys that I do. I'm hands-on. And we, right now, blight is a big problem in our district, in District 2. In spite of what you see, in spite of what you hear, we have a blight issue. I get calls every single day. I got one I told you earlier this morning at 6:30 from a 92-year-old resident. So right now in the queue, in the law department, is my ordinance to address blight. Just like we have a citizens radio patrol that's been going on for about 37, 38 years, right in District 2 where I live, Green Acres, under the leadership of Jim Ward, we're going to do the same thing with blight control. They're going to be called the Citizens Blight Patrol. And that's going to start probably in another 30 days. It's already been fully funded. It hadn't even been passed. The law just got passed, and my colleagues trusted my leadership and trusted my advocacy. We now have funding for the Citizens Blight Patrol. And if you go around the city now, you'll see recycle bins, blue recycle bins. I got that done with the unanimous support of my colleagues. So now we have more in District 2 than we have in any other district because I advocated for those recycle bins, and they're out on the street as we speak today. So there's more to come, but we have to make sure that we listen to our residents. And sometimes we have to make these calls on behalf of our residents. I am the advocate for the residents in District 2. I've been there for the last 4 years, and I'll be there for the next 4 years.
You know, being an advocate for residents means that you're not just sitting in the office or you're not just coming around at a certain period of time. It means that you're out and about whenever. And I used to drive around, and when I would see blight, I would contact the whatever department there was to make sure DPW or sanitation, and say, hey, look, we have a problem. We have an issue here. This needs to be cleaned up. And it got response because of the rapport and the relationship that you have with these directors and department heads. So these are the things that we continue to do. It is about also having the district office with people that are working every day, that are also coming in, listening to the constituents, and also dealing with those issues. So it is hands-on all the time, not just sometimes, not just a particular time, but it's hands-on all the time. And you're out yourself, myself, driving around looking and seeing what is going on in District 2, and let's handle it and let's resolve it.
So as a state
Bill-
representative, oh, go ahead, Mr. Harris.
No, ladies first. Go
Okay.
ahead, Rep. Scott.
As a state representative, I was chair of Energy and Common Tech in the State House. I have excellent relationships with DTE. So many constituents have called my office to get issues resolved, to get their bill reduced, to get a payment plan worked out. So I definitely have relationships with DTE. We definitely deal with those issues every day. We'll continue to do that on the city level. Looking forward to really making relationships with city departments. I have been a problem solver. I'm known as that on the state level, and will definitely continue to do that on the city level. People have my phone number. They call me all hours of the night and day. And so I jump into action, and my team jumps into action as well. I have a small team of 2, but you can ask anybody in District 2. We produce results all the time. We deal with our customer issues and customer complaints, constituent complaints.
We have a great team within the city of Detroit, and when I say that, I mean it. I stand on it. It's nothing. We can reach out to our dons, our any department head, and we can get things done. And the proof is in the pudding. Me and my team worked tirelessly last year, over 14 months ago, building and leading up to the draft. And we hosted 700,000 people in the city of Detroit. And it took a team of not just our department heads. We had to build relationships with the border, with Macomb County, with Oakland County, Washtenaw County. We even had people across the river in Canada. We all worked together for one goal, one common goal for safety, and we marketed. It was like we were promoters for Detroit, and people enjoyed themselves, and they went back there still bragging about that draft. So relationship building is the key. And back to the litter piece, you'd be surprised what you can do leading by example. Instead of riding down Wickham and saying, oh, there's some trash on the ground, get out the car while you're on Wickham and pick up that trash. When you're riding down Strathmore, instead of looking at it, say, I wonder who did that, shame on them. Get out, pick it up off of their lawn. Don't say it's not my yard. It is your yard. You're a Detroiter, and the community reflects that. So you'd be surprised, leading by example and educating our youth when they're in elementary school, showing them, hey, keep your house clean. Maybe your parents or your cousins, your aunts, your uncles didn't teach you, but we can teach you, and we'll lead by example. That's what we would do with Team Harris.
Ms. Mia, can I address one other thing, please? With DTE, one of the things that we have to advocate is that we have affordable utilities. When you fight for affordable housing, it's great, but you can't fight for affordable housing if the people have unaffordable utilities. And we have to look at that and make sure that people's utilities are in operation. That's another thing that I look for at working with our constituents and making sure not only in District 2, but throughout the city of Detroit. So I just wanted to add that. I'm Roy McCalister Jr. Thank you so much.
I want to add that I passed Law 198, Energy Assistance for Low-Income Residents, and brought back millions of dollars federally in order to subsidize that program for seniors, for veterans, for disabled people. So as chair of Energy, I actually worked on that and passed that through my committee and also passed it into law.
And I also like to add that, yeah, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah, I was one of 2 elected officials who actually testified before the Michigan Commission when they came before Detroiters about a year ago at Wayne County Community College. There were just 2 of us there, 2 elected officials, and we were amongst taxpayers and those who were screaming about their high DTE bills. I advocated that they not be approved for their rate increase. So there were no other elected officials there but myself and one other elected official, and we were able to testify and share our concerns about them raising the rate hikes. They still were approved, but at my opposition, along with thousands of other folks. We were there at that hearing at Wayne County Community College about a year ago.
All right, thank you. Moving on to another question that I just received from the Coffee Lodge. I'm going to have to reword this because this is an open floor and you all must answer. So it's not targeted at one specific candidate, but all of you. What are your thoughts on current elected officials breaking their oaths of office to run for, let's say, a city council seat or any other seat when you've won elections or when you are already in a seat, in an elected seat?
Okay, I'll take that. Can you hear me?
I can, yeah.
Okay, this is Detroit City Council woman Angela Whitfield-Calloway asking for your vote to return to City Council. I would never break my oath of office, ever. I would never break my oath of office because that would make me a liar. If I'm standing there raising my right hand, saying I'm going to serve you at this level, I'm going to serve you with distinction, dedication, and commitment because you put your trust in me. You put your vote on me. Why would I turn around and seek another office at another level, breaking that oath of office that I just took 3 months or 4 months ago? That would make me a liar, and I'm not a liar. I'm a woman of my word, and I want your vote. Come again, August the 5th and November the 4th, and you never have to worry about me breaking my oath of office. When I said I'm going to serve you at the Detroit City Council level, that's what I intend to do, and that's what I've done. I said I'd be your voice, and I've been your voice, and I've been committed. I've taken the tough decisions, and you know that I have, and I've not been afraid. I said I would make those tough decisions, but I would never, ever break my oath of office. When I made my commitment to you to serve in a certain position, I'm going to serve until that term ends. I would never breach that oath of office to go to another office and say, I'm going to serve you there. You can't be trusted. That's an untrustworthy person.
Let
that's
me
not me.
address this. Okay, so it sounds like you're referring to me potentially, correct, Ms. Calloway? So I'm not breaking oath in office. What's happening is District 2 is within my house district, and they are upset about the leadership they have because of the fact that I've been such a good leader on the house level. They're asking me to run for city council. So I'm not breaking my oath of office. I'm committed to my constituents. I'm committed to my house district 8. I'm also committed to District 2 because those are also my constituents as well, the majority of them. So I'm not a liar. I take issue with what you're saying. I'm a public servant and I serve my district and my constituents, and I listen to them and I act on their accord as well. I don't just act singularly with your own voice. I listen to my constituents and act accordingly.
Well, they just asked you a question. It wasn't my question. I just answered. It was a
Well, excuse me, but you were addressing it to me because I'm the only one on this call that is on the state level and running for city level. So I'm not a liar.
I'm Roy McCalister Jr. You know, city council has always been in my heart, always been in my heart. And District 2, I just love it to death. And that's one of the reasons why there is so many corridors that I have made literally historical corridors because of the famous history that is here. And it's something that, again, even when the COVID was in, I was still out making sure that our first responders received masks, gloves, sanitation, they ate, making sure that our nursing homes, our senior citizen buildings, and others. It is, to me, this is about, if you care, as long as you care about people and love people, you're going to do something that's going to be there and it's just part of your heart. And that's why people are calling me back to run again, because they're saying they are not receiving the representation or the uh, uh, leadership that they had. It's about bringing people together again. And these are the things that I'm doing. So when you have to have a vision when you're serving. It is not about a personal agenda or anything else. It's about
Exactly.
your heart caring for people. I'm Roy McCalister Jr., and I'm asking for your vote to return to reservice you. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Next answer?
You know, I would like to add that District 2 has had 3 different council people in the last 3 races. So clearly they want change. And clearly that's what they're asking for, which is why I've been asked to run. That's why I want to be city council person in District 2, because I want to continue to serve my constituents and provide them the leadership that they don't have right now.
Yeah.
Candidate Harris, do you have a response,
Like scared
to that question?
I hear some voices in the background. I don't
Well,
who's that
we
is.
are watching this live from the Detroit
Oh.
Coffee Lodge, so yes, there's some conversation.
Oh, okay, cool. This is America. You have the right to do whatever you want to do.
Thank you. We don't own these seats, right?
However, as fire chief, it's tough. I've been doing this 28 years. I got burned in a house fire in District 2. Almost lost my life as a rookie. And the first thing people asked me were like, why are you doing this? You know, you could go out to another city and it's not that dangerous. You probably wouldn't have got burned. You probably wouldn't have been wound up in the hospital. And I said, hey, I took an oath and I'm doing this for the love of the city and to help people and save people. So that's my take on that. That's my answer.
Thank you. I want to shift a little bit while we have all of you available and willing to answer. This is a question that is, it's not necessarily within District 2, but it is important for the entire council. This is a question that comes from another one of our board members. So we know that plans are underway to redevelop the Renaissance Center. The proposal includes demolishing 2 office towers on the river, which would create new open space for pedestrians on the riverfront. The remaining towers would be upgraded. Tower 100 would be devoted to a residential space. Tower 200 would be used for commercial office space, and the tallest tower would remain a hotel and high-end residential space. GM has agreed to fund $250 million. And Bedrock Real Estate, Dan Gilbert, will expend $100 billion towards the renovation. This is contingent that the state of Michigan and Detroit's Downtown Development Authority extend public funds of $250 million. Michigan has not yet decided to fund the $250 million for this redevelopment, and the project is still in the conceptual phase. There is a concern that if we do not develop a plan, the Renson may face decades of inaction like so many other Detroit landmarks. Hudson's, Michigan Central Station, and the Packard plant, etc. As a candidate for city council, what do you propose?
I'll attempt to answer that question since I am the city council, and will be returned in January for my second term. That question has already been presented to the city council. And let me tell you what I simply asked for. I asked for a study just to understand the historical nature and value of those towers. I absolutely know that that area needs to be redeveloped, and I'll support that. Whether or not we agree on how it gets funded, it's going to get funded, whether the funds come from the state, whether or not there will be tax abatements at the local level, it will get funded because it's an excellent plan for redeveloping that area. What I don't want to do is continue to give out tax abatements or award tax abatements for 35 years. What we've done in my office, we know that at the state level, the local legislators, we have the authority to grant incrementally tax abatements. We don't have to give a blanket 35-year tax abatement, which I absolutely oppose all of the time, but it still gets passed because most of the developments are wonderful. All I advocate for is incremental tax abatements or tax incentives. Every 5 years, we'll go back and look at whether or not you should get another 10 years or another 15 years. But what has been the problem with our tax abating system is we give them a blanket 35-year tax abatements and we don't give any clawbacks when they breach their agreement. We have several developers who are in breach of their own agreements, but we don't claw back those tax abatements. And I don't want to see the city locked into tax abatements and we can't claw them back once a developer breaches. I just do not support developers breaching their agreement.
Thank you so much.
You said downtown development. You know, and everything is downtown development. What about having whoever purchased it, start referring that money back to the community? You know, one of the things that I'm doing is I'm speaking with somebody that's looking at to have certain part of those towers for education, for our schools. These are the visions that you must have when you're looking at something that's going to go forward. First of all, the city of Detroit doesn't own this. So we have to look at, okay, if you're going to do this and you're going to bring all this upon us, what are you going to do to bring back, either by tax abatements, tax credits, back into the community? That's what's looking at. Everything is downtown development. Let's start doing a community development, whether it's downtown, whatever. Bring some of those dollars back. Bring some of that funding. Bring some of those resources back to the communities. Let's bring them back to District 2 family, because we have to make sure that we are taken care of. Not just about downtown, but it's also about our community in our District 2. I'm Roy McCalister Jr. I'm looking to come back with that vision to get back in there and we start moving with economic growth.
Thank you.
We know our neighborhoods are the arteries. If you're going with the human anatomy, and the heart is downtown. I mean, love it or hate it. I mean, we go visit any other city, any other country, tourists are gonna stop downtown. They're gonna spend money downtown. To piggyback on what you all said, let that money funnel back to the neighborhoods. I don't think we should have to pay for anything downtown. The average Detroiter doesn't go downtown every day unless you work down there. But I do agree something needs to be done. That's prime real estate, is right on the water. We need something to attract people where you can park. It's difficult parking in that Renaissance. It's empty. It was cool back in the 80s when it was first built. but we do need to redevelop down there and make it nice and make it family friendly and make it neighborhood friendly. It shouldn't cost an arm and a leg for us to come from District 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, or 7 to take our family down there to get some ice cream and walk our dog and walk by the water. We shouldn't have to pay $100 to park. It should be great for us. Detroiters that live here, actually, we shouldn't have to pay anything. Now, if you're a tourist or a visitor, maybe you need to pay $50 to park, or maybe 20, something economical, but it shouldn't come off our backs, not our hardworking blue collar people that live in District 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 1. That's my take on that. James Harris.
Thank you.
You're on mute, Helena. You're on mute.
Thank you. This is Representative Helena Scott. I do believe that the development does need to happen down at the Renson. I know that we are in talks and conversation with how much money the state will be allocating towards that effort. That has not totally been decided yet, but I agree. There needs to be some accountability and agreement that some of those funds or abatements or credits need to come back to the neighborhoods, because downtown is developed and it's beautiful and we love it. And so many people are coming here from out of state to come to our downtown, but our neighborhoods are suffering. District 2 is suffering. District 2 is suffering under the current leadership. So changes need to be made. So I do agree that we do need to make sure that our neighborhoods are protected, and we need to get something out of the deal. If the state is going to be contributing a certain amount of money, the developers need to make sure that they are contributing to the neighborhoods as well.
Miss Maya, we have a person in the Zoom audience, Renee Allen, who has a question.
Absolutely.
Can you unmute Renee Allen?
Yeah.
Yes, my question is this. Councilmember McCalloway mentioned that there was a Citizens Blight Patrol. I'm the vice president of the Bagley Radio Patrol 21, and we do patrol for blight. But what I want to know is, how can the residents who are concerned about blight get active on the Citizens Blight Patrol?
May I answer that?
Yes.
Excellent. I think you call me the councilwoman who is the cleanup councilwoman. I always get called. See, I just don't drive through. I'm the one that gets out and actually picks up the trash. Just go to my Facebook page. I found a mountain of trash. I'm always finding mountains of trash. I think I'm there because I do have a problem with there being so much blight in District 2. But if you go to my Facebook page, I'm not making it up. The pictures are there. The video footage is there. Ron Brundage knows that it's there. Everybody knows that it's there. That's why we have recycle bins. But the Citizens Blight Patrol is going to come online in about 30 days. So if you want to be one of the volunteers, you will receive a stipend. We got it fully funded this past March. Fully funded. The law hadn't even been passed yet. The ordinance hadn't even been passed. But my colleagues know that we are on the right track with addressing blight. So yes, you can call my office at 224-4535. That's the council member's number, 224-4535, and we'll get you signed up so you can be one of our first Citizens Blight Patrol volunteers, and you will get a stipend. But right now, it's still in the law department, being approved as to form, and then we're going to have a public hearing on it. Hopefully, you'll participate in that. That is that'll be my 6th ordinance that I passed in my first term. But yes, thank you for your interest, and we'll get the city cleaned up one way or another.
The floor is still open.
Okay, well, we have one more question from a Ms. Ahmed. Please address it so that all candidates can respond. Can you please unmute yourself? Okay.
Yes, hello. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
Okay, good evening. Thanks for taking my question. Member Calloway has been the best city council person we've had in years. She's passed in her rookie year about 6 ordinances. She also helped us. Detroit has been illegally overtaxed $600 million, and 100,000 homes were being illegally foreclosed. She helped pass the property tax reform ordinance and makes sure that the ordinance is enforced. Why should we fire someone who is this proactive in years for people like you, Mr. McCalister, who was fired by us because of your inactivity, and you, Ms. Scott, who was in Lansing and could have been advocating for us to get paid back. Thank you.
Thank you for that, Ms. Ahmed. If you remember, I sent about 5 or 6 different people out to your home because of your roof. And each time there was an excuse by you as to why those folks could not come in. But the fact of the matter is that it is always about when you call, I was there. And also the fact that we are always available for people. So, you know, to sit here and say that I was fired or anybody like that, well, it was just the fact that a lot of people were saying that I was there so much. They took it for granted and they didn't vote. So therefore, that's why I'm saying we have to get out and vote. So when you get out and vote for Roy McCalister Jr., and you're going to start having those things return back in January 2026 that we were doing. Just like I came out and had 5 people come out to your home to look at your home, I do the same thing. Several people have called me since I've been running, and I've taken care of things because of my continued relationship with a number of directors downtown. Thank you so much. I'm Roy McCalister Jr., and I'm asking for your vote so I can return and continue to do what I was doing. Thank you. God bless you.
Let me address that constituent. So I have been advocating for lower taxes in Lansing. As a matter of fact, there was a land value tax bill. But how Lansing works, we are a caucus of 50 plus members. And so it's just not my vote. In order to try to convince other members to vote and lower property taxes for the city of Detroit, it didn't work. So I definitely have been an advocate of lowering property taxes and definitely advocated with my colleagues in Lansing. So to say that I'm not advocating for you, I am, and I'm doing it every day. I passed over 10 bills just in the last year, 10 public acts through the governor, and that's not an easy feat. So I have been advocating. I work tirelessly for my district and will continue to do that if elected to city council on the local level as well. And I invite you to come up to Lansing and sit in a committee and sit in a session to really see how Lansing operates.
All right. Was there anyone else that would like to
Yes.
respond?
May I, can you hear me?
Yeah.
This is Detroit City Councilwoman Angela Whitfield-Calloway. And speaking of property tax decreases, 3rd year in a row, we've gotten property tax decreases under my leadership. I advocated for and received, our residents received a 3 mil property tax decrease effective July 1st, 2025. This decrease adds to the 1 mil that I got in 2023 and the other mill that I got in 2024. That's a total of 5 mills, which is 17% decrease over 3 years. This reduction directly impacts every Detroiter, not just District 2 Detroiters, but every Detroiter in the city of Detroit. This affects your tax bills, providing much needed relief without compromising city services. The savings will be reflected in your August tax bill.
Okay. Thank you. I think that that's all the questions for our viewers, our virtual attendees. I just want to, because I am an advocate of health and wellness, so I want to make sure, and let's maybe make these 30, 40-second answers here, because we are approaching the end time and we want to hear from you all, closing us out for this evening. But a board member question is and it's also a suggestion, because you know, we're in a time of disinformation. We are also a time where there's anger, there's stress. You know, our current administration is doing what they're doing, and it's not even been half a year yet. So, a suggestion for the candidates, and also a question: maybe you can help one another here. What do you all do to stay focused, to stay motivated, to stay physically and emotionally well? Because we need our next city council representative strong and mighty and ready to fight for us and for this, city of Detroit in these next, couple years. So what are you all doing and what do you all suggest for one another to get through this together? Winning or not?
So
Yeah.
I've got a thing where every morning I get up at 5 o'clock, say my prayer, and I hit the gym. And I got 2 separate workouts. Sometimes I go heavy, sometimes I go light. Sometimes when I go light, especially on the bench press, I'll try to do 142 reps, or maybe
Wow.
5 pounds. And the reason I do that, it's 142 square miles in the city of Detroit. And mentally, when I'm on that bench, I'm thinking about every inch of these 142 square miles in the city of Detroit. It doesn't matter if you live in Sherwood Forest. It doesn't matter if you live in Brightmoor. It doesn't matter if you live on Finkel. It doesn't matter if you live on Telegraph. I think about all of that. And ironically, when you're in that gym, first of all, you got to eat right, you got to sleep right. But when I'm in that gym, when I leave out, whatever problems I had, they go away. I leave it in the gym. You got to be physically fit. You got to bring energy to the council table. The 9 of us have got to be energized. When my line of work, the neighbors don't want to hear, hey, I was jumping out the 2nd-story window and it took you too long. No, I'm not going to be a 3rd responder or a 2nd responder. I'm going to be a 1st responder right on the spot. We don't have time to play around. And you can't respond to anything any citizens need if you're not healthy. We're going to grow our own food and emphasize that. Let's start gardening. Let's start eating right. Let's start resting right. And let's work out as much as we can to be around for the longevity for our citizens of the city of Detroit.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Yeah, I'll go next. This is Councilmember Calloway asking for your vote on August the 5th and then again on November the 4th. I'm a stickler about physical fitness. I make sure I eat right. I pray every single morning. I work out every single morning. Folks know that I walk. I started walking groups in 2022. And we still have those walking groups. We walk throughout District 2, not just at parks. We're in different communities. We were just at the park, Peterson Park, on Monday. So I'm a stickler about physical fitness, not just spoken, but physically fit. I make sure I eat right. And then again, I pray every single day. I have a good relationship with the Lord Jesus Christ. I make sure I go to church. I make sure I read the word every day. I make sure that I have a positive mindset because these jobs are not easy. They're very difficult jobs. And District 2, I just want to tell you this. We've come too far to go back. We've made a lot of progress. We've gotten a doggy park built. We're getting our fountain restored. Just look around. We've made a lot of progress. When you call, I come. I don't just drive past the trash. I get out and I pick up the trash. I didn't just send someone to Miss Ahmad's house. I went to Miss Ahmad's house and took pictures. And she does have a new roof now. She's getting more improvements in her house. So I'm just not the one to send somebody. I am the person who goes to the person who's calling. I even answer my.
Thank you so much. Our next candidate, feel free to answer that.
So this is State Representative Helena Scott. We do have grueling jobs. I go to Lansing every week. I'm there 3 days. I go up on Tuesday. I come back on Friday. And especially with the climate that we have and federally, and obviously even on this call, where people are nasty unnecessarily, it's so important that we take time for our mental health and our physical health. I do yoga. I walk. I do weight training. So I really make my health and my state of mind a priority, and kindness is key. That's something we need to experience. Everybody needs to be kind to everyone all the time. And that is a distressor as well. So I will continue to do that if elected to Detroit City Council or when elected Detroit City Council District 2. I'm looking forward to serving you with the same leadership and dedication that I've done on the state level. I will continue to do that also on the city level as well.
Thank you. Is candidate McCalister still here or did he?
Every time when I wake up and I put my feet on the ground, on the floor, I thank God. And then
Amen.
from there, I remember because my military and because of my police, this is the only body that you have. Therefore, you have to make sure that you stay in shape. That's why people see me now knocking on their doors, talking to them, listening to what their issues are, talking to them and placing lawn signs to say, thank you so very much. I'm looking for your vote. It is also about our mental health. Last Saturday, I just had a phenomenal mental health seminar. We used to have the mental health seminars every 3 months, especially since COVID. Nobody has stepped in to say, we need to talk about mental health. I'm bringing this mental health coming out of my pocket. That's my investment back to the people. But we have to stay in shape. You have to, because again, this is not anything easy. You can't just be walking around and pass out and say, I'm going to fall out. It is something that you have to be physically fit, mentally fit, and morally fit to take care of people and to treat people with respect and with dignity. And that's what this is all about. And that's why I say, Roy McCalister Jr. looking to come back and to continue to service you with the health and everything and the strength to keep you going forward and build your quality of life. I'm Roy McCalister Jr. And ladies and gentlemen, family, I'm looking for that vote to get me back in office.
Thank you so much. We are now going to shift into our final portion of tonight's program. And, you know, you all viewing virtually, it's a lot of y'all. I was looking, you know, at, the count, and I appreciate you all for tuning in. I appreciate you all here at the Detroit Coffee Lounge, and thank you all, the candidates, taking a moment to talk to us. I know things happen, and maybe a little rough start here, but we got through it, and you're certainly appreciated, and we will be, you know, taking your words back with us, and it will follow us through August and ultimately November. So I would like to close out in reverse order, beginning with closing remarks from candidate Helena Scott.
Thank you. Thank you so much for the opportunity tonight to be part of this forum. I really am asking for your support and your vote. I have exhibited leadership and dedication and integrity on the state level in House District 8 and want to continue to do that in Detroit City Council and District 2. So I'm asking for your vote for me to represent you on City Council and District 2 in August and also in November. And I will promise you that I will always work for you, always put you first, and always be your voice at that table. With integrity, I will lead, and also kindness. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, candidate Scott. We will now hear from candidate McCalister.
Thank you so very much. As stated, it was rough. I'm going in and out, couldn't get in, everything. But that just shows my resilience because I'm here to express myself and tell you how much I love y'all, how much I'm gonna be servicing y'all. Look at Calloway just laughing, and how much she know I'm right, and how much I'm just gonna be out there working for you and giving you that service because it is about you. I work for you, I service you, and I look forward to coming back and continuing those efforts. It's about the resilience, it's about the vision, it's about bringing us together, and it's about structure. And I'm Roy McCalister Jr. I'm asking for your vote. I apologize. I had my little suit and tie, got my little tie on, 3-piece on, that you didn't see me, but I apologize. But you're going to see me out there. Y'all know how I am. I represent you in all phases and give you that respect. I'm Roy McCalister Jr. August 5th. Vote for Roy McCalister Jr., Detroit City Council, District 2. God bless you and love you.
Thank you so much. We sure you sharp over there. Thank you so much. We will now hear from candidate Harris.
Thank you again for hosting this. Thank you for listening. And I just want to say a couple things. Since 1701, Detroit's been around. We've risen from the ashes after 1967. We got through bankruptcy in 2014, and now we're here. We're at a pivotal point in the city of Detroit. We're not getting handouts from the federal government. We got to make it on our own. So we do that by neighbors working together. So thank you, St. Bernardo Park, for having us and listening to us. And it's time for a change. Detroit can do better. If you want fresh energy, fresh change, vote for James Harris, August 5th, 2005. The people's chief for the people. Thank you.
Thank you so much, candidate Harris. We will now hear from our final candidate, Councilwoman Calloway.
Well, I thank you so much, and thank you so much for this opportunity. I am the incumbent, and I will be returning to serve a second term on the Detroit City Council because we can't stop the momentum. The movement has started. We can't stop now. We've come too far. We've made too much progress, and we have a lot more progress to make. Look, I helped to support the Coffee Cafe where you all are sitting right now. I supported them 2 months in a row. I helped their financial bottom line by paying for everyone who came there in February and January. And I'll continue to do that for all of the small businesses in District 2. I put my money where my mouth is. I go to every single business in the city of Detroit and in District 2, and I hold coffee and conversations. And I've been doing that since 2022, and I'll continue to do that. I just don't support the large businesses. I support the small business as well. Go up and down the Avenue of Fashion. You'll see my sign. To get more information about how you can get involved with my campaign, you can call 735-4152, or you can visit my beautiful campaign office on the Avenue of Fashion at 19480 Livernois, right next to Bucharest. We're there. I support you. I'll continue to support you, and I'll continue to be that voice on the city council, whether I have the unanimous support of my colleagues or not. It doesn't matter to me if I have to stand alone, especially when I know I'm making the right decision on behalf of the residents of District 2. My website is angelaforddetroit.com. My telephone number again is 313-735-4152, or come by my.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. It's never enough time. And even with one of our candidates unable to make it became more intimate. We still couldn't get to all the questions. I received something in my inbox about individuals who are disabled in the community and what will you all do. So think about that and address that next time you all come before an audience, because there are so many things to cover. Again, thank you all for tuning in this evening. I want to just turn the camera around and show you all these wonderful people here.
Hey, everybody. Hope you're enjoying.
God bless everybody. Thanks for coming out here, taking your time.
Thank you so much, you all. I hope you've been informed. I hope you have enjoyed tonight's program. Until next time, I would like to turn the meeting over to our treasurer, Mr. Alvin Alson, for his closing remarks. Thank you again.
Yeah, thank you, Maya. And first of all, we've been having technical difficulties throughout this whole meeting. Alvin lost connection. I can't get my face up, which is okay because I didn't comb my hair anyhow. So we're gonna go ahead and we're just gonna close it. Kim, can you put the last screen on so I can just tell everybody the closing remarks I got to say? First of all, I want all the candidates for participating. This has been a delight hearing everybody's point of view. We appreciate those of you that joined us for our neighborhood walks, which was quite a bit of you. And we are San Bernardo Park Association. All our meetings are in public, whether they're virtual or in person. You are always welcome to join us for any of our meetings. Also, if you like, we are going to send out information about this meeting. We're going to also show this meeting on our YouTube channel. So if you missed something or you want to hear something again or you want to share with somebody who did not come, we will advise everyone of our YouTube posting. You can follow us on Facebook or you can follow us on Instagram at San Bernardo Park Association, all one word. You can give us a call on the hotline number is 313-437-1062. Or you can call us at the number that I just gave you. So I want to thank everybody for joining us. The next meeting will be July 18th. It's going to be virtual, and then we're going to take a little break and then come back in September. So thank you, everyone. And again, thank all the candidates. We really appreciate you. We appreciate your participation in our neighborhood. Like I said, we're San Bernardo Park Association, and we are a small community, but we are an active community. And we thank you for participating in our audience, for being part of this meeting and finding out more about the candidates. So thank you, everybody, and have a wonderful evening.
Thank you, everyone.
Yes.
God bless you.
Take
Roy
care.
McCalister, Detroit City Council. Love you all.
Thank you all. Stay safe. Thanks, Ms. Anthony.
That's right. Take care.
Thank y'all, Detroit. Love y'all, Detroit.
Thank you, Detroit. Thanks. Thank you, San Bernardo Park Association. God bless you.
Let's, oh, sorry.